Hello, hello, YouTubers. How is everybody? Just trying to put the piece together what I wanted to say. It wasn't anything that interesting, to be honest. There's been a bit of a discussion about Eric Dubay for many years. Is he a shield? Has he been sent to gather the flock, to direct its movement and so forth? A sheep in wolf's clothing, perhaps? Don't know. Big debate about that one at the moment. I only bring it up because I only just recently saw a body shot of him in a yoga position, where his hips were way above the navel, just below the elbow if you put your arm straight type down, just like in a female, and they were sort of at an angle, of course, which is the childbearing angle type thing, and that kind of nailed it for me, just off the basis of one photo, which could have been photoshopped. I've seen a few others which I don't see that in it. That's what's bothering me. So, the problem is, so much can be doctored or completely fabricated these days. And our belief in it makes it real. Or they make it real by making it really good CGI and stuff like that. There was some idiotic stuff about some police running over protesters in France or Colombia or something. It's supposed to be France, we look more like Colombia. But even then, you could see the scene wasn't right. People weren't behaving the way they should be, and all that sort of thing. It's a chaotic scene. So we've seen enough real ones, or we know how we'd be behaving in that kind of scene. But the computer-generated stuff doesn't add up, and that's its main problem. They can't make it act like humans and stuff, and then there's the like real crisis actor type footage. And again, for a bit of that reason, that can be spotted. But it's anything that goes worldwide on CBS and Channel 4 News is a fabrication, all of it. Okay, so what does it matter? It's all a fabrication. And when certain big stories come out, all the reporters have exactly the same wording for it across the globe. Yeah, it comes from one source. That's why. Yeah, and you see that with the bigger stories. They're identical message across the network, across the globe, across this fantasy reality that they create with the news and the soaps and the TV programming. That's why they call it programs. Television programming, yeah. So Eric Dubay, is he tranny? Is he shield? Is he just an honest flat earther? He did bring a lot of awareness about, but then isn't that the job of a sheep herder? To gather the flock, to ID the individuals who did not take the programming, who believe the earth is not a spinning ball, who understand it to be stationary and a flat plane. Indeed it is. There was this depiction of Atlantis. It was like 3 rings of terra firma with water in the middle. with water, like bits of rings of water, rings of terra firma of land, rings of water, rings of land. In a 3, in circle. And if you look at the what's it called? The oh gosh, that fucking flat Earth map they've got on the UN map. And a lot of maps, they use the flat Earth map because they know it's flat. It's not because they're just mocking. They're mocking the people that know, and everybody else just doesn't understand what it is. But it is actually a map of the flat Earth. Okay, so if you have a look at the UN map, you'll see it's a flat Earth map. And a fairly good one at that, what seems to be quite accurate. So they know. That's one of the truths. Excuse the dog is barking. That's my dog Snowy. Say hi, Snowy. You want to bark some more? Yeah. There you go. Is it flat? Is it flat, Snowy? Yes, it's flat. It's definitely flat. He knows. The dogs know. The dogs know everything. They see shit we don't see. Oh, there you go. So right, this map of Atlantis, depiction of Atlantis, right? So if you look at the flat Earth model and the various maps, the Antarctic wall that surrounds us, being the South Pole, on the globe model it's called the South Pole. There's no such thing as a South Pole, and if you look at the flight patterns of anything, you'll see that no one's ever sort of gone round the South Pole directly across over it. Yeah, you'll hear that Sir Robert Fiennes did it, but that's nonsense. He didn't, in fact, check the records. He didn't do it because it's impossible. Okay, because Antarctica is the circle that surrounds the waters that surround the terra firma, and that does remind you of the Atlantis map. So what we've possibly got is Atlantis. We are here in Atlantis. And beyond Antarctica there is another ring of terra firma, and beyond that there's another ring of the water and ice. Yes, it is. Because it's more than a coincidence that this depiction of Atlantis could well it looks exactly like the flat Earth. And what I've always suspected, and what many have, there's a particular map which shows that the Earth as we know it is only about 10 or 15% of the vast plain that we are here. And this is why the Antarctic ring, Antarctica, there's a treaty on it. Many armies from around the world control it or protect it, and of course deeper than that there's the secret military and illuminated sort of protectors, and beyond that perhaps even technology and beings that obviously we don't know about, but I suspect they do live here among us. And I'm not saying that David Icke is right or anything, because he's someone who will lead you astray a lot. But there's always a bit of truth. They scatter it around just to confuse the fuck out of everybody, and they'll put a sprinkle of it here and there, and they cover it up so much you don't know which way is up, you know. So that's the reason for it. Anyway, but yeah, there's definitely different beings living here with us, whether we see them or not, or whether they look just like us and we interact with them as if they were us, like they live. So, and I might explain why the dog hates certain people. Who knows? But yeah. Again, the point of this video is to share, not with anybody really, because I don't think anyone's quite interested, are they? But if you are watching, try and research Flat Earth. Or not Flat Earth, just anything. Anything that you think is real. That's one way to put it. that journey's going well, guys. As always, good luck, and don't hesitate to send those prayer requests in. I will pray for you. I'm just kidding, I won't pray for you. Don't send any prayer. I don't want to hear it. Good luck there, guys. Cheers. Bye.